then still has that nice full sole on it for those soft turf conditions. And what are you laughing about?
What doesn't it do?
What doesn't it do? It does everything. I mean, this is
what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, this is just your Swiss Army knife of wedges.
Yeah. G'day guys, welcome to another episode of Fully Equipped. Kris, mate, how are you? How's your week been?
We've had a busy week.
We've had a busy week.
There's been a lot going on.
There's been a lot going on.
But, I mean, for me, I got to play a round of golf.
Yep.
I was pretty stoked about it.
Yep, I did not. You texted me and I made you feel like shit, but yep, keep going.
Trust me, I didn't feel like shit. Yeah. I'm going, I have the freedom to do this, no kids. And my wife is like, go play golf, please. Yep. Please get out, go play golf. But course that I love to play over on the West Valley just came out of Overseed a couple weeks ago. They were off the path this past weekend. And I would like to say that carded a 73.
Which course?
Something that it's called Deer Valley.
Okay.
And something that I have not done in quite some time. I had 2 chip-ins for birdie.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
That's rad.
I came out of the gate, and this is a golf course I've played, a couple dozen times probably, if I had to conservatively say. So the second hole I 3-putted, I was on a ridge, and usually this ridge is really quick and just coming out of Overseed, a little shaggy. So I kind of hit it to the top of this ridge, expecting the usual swing that I see, and it just hung up there. So I 3-whacked it after I missed the green. So started out with a double. So
that's always the best way to start, though, right? Because then you kind of get
no
into
expectations.
Gear. You get into gear straight away. I find if I birdie the first hole, it's when I kind of, oh, cool.
Oh, if I birdie the first hole, I'm screwed.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it gets in my head, and it's like, oh, it can only go downhill from here.
Did you get up to anything else other than playing golf? And apart from the busy stuff that we did for work that we'll get into later, anything else you do?
For me, I am just 100 miles an hour with getting everything together for all the things we're going to be doing coming up. Between the Carlsbad trip, between club test, between gathering gear, talking to reps, just trying to get educated and get the who's who of engineers and R&D people to talk to me about the latest and greatest coming out. That for me has just kind of consumed my life for the last couple weeks. Ever since the transition over to golf, really, I hit the ground running and been trying to set this up for us.
Nice. Yeah, I've been pretty mellow. My mum was in town. She left on Monday. She went back to Australia on Monday. I got sworn in yesterday.
Nice.
So now I'm officially an American citizen. And honestly, the weekend was just spent with a lot of time with the family and the kids and my mum and obviously my wife. Spent a lot of time watching football. Cardinals had a pretty good win over the weekend, which is great. And what are they? Are they the top of the division now, which is great. So looking good in that regard for me. And then my Phoenix Suns are looking fantastic. I'm very happy with where they're at. I said all off-season the biggest acquisition we made was Coach Bud, and very, very happy with where we're at. Heading to the game tonight against the Heat. So hopefully we can continue our run where we're on a 5-game win streak. I think we're 6-1 right now. So hopefully we can keep that going, and Andrea and I can have a good little date night away from the kids and have some fun. But yeah, been pretty mellow. I don't feel like I've played golf for like 2 or 3 weeks. We got to fix that. We have to fix that, which is okay. I think I needed to take a little bit of a break from golf anyway. You know when you're like just getting too into it and you're like overthinking everything?
No such thing.
Okay, that's where I was. And so I think it's okay to take a couple of weeks off. So we'll see what happens. But one thing I am looking forward to when I do play golf is being able to use my Nikon rangefinder.
There you go.
So that little transition I did there.
I like that.
I really quickly just want to talk about the Nikon Cool Shot. It is a great rangefinder. I play it. You play it. The stabilization mechanism in it is fantastic. The way it works on course is second to none with the scope that they've got. The mode settings that you can go through, very different, 3 or 4, 5 different mode settings that they've got in there. So depending on whether you like to see actual plus new distances based on where you're looking up or down, adjusted, all of that kind of stuff, whether you want to see the adjusted number or whether you want to see it all in one, you can change those modes. So I love this thing. I think it's a great rangefinder. I know you love it as well.
Definitely.
So to everyone out there, go check out the Nikon rangefinder line. I think they've got 4 or 5 different rangefinders, but this Cool Shot here, the Pro 2, is their number one. It's on the LPGA. It's the rangefinder of the LPGA Tour. So yeah, go to Nikon, go check it out. Go to fairwayjockey.com, check it out. If you like it, give it a go. If you need a new rangefinder, I think this is a great one to put in there.
So I've been playing it a couple months, and it's kind of funny. The listeners, the gearheads out there, I've posted a couple pictures of my bag.
Yeah.
And I have an old rangefinder case on my bag that I have my Nikon rangefinder in.
Yeah.
And I've had some guys reach out in the DMs and go, "Hey, I thought you were playing the Nikon." And I am, and didn't even think about the fact that I have an old rangefinder case on my bag. So one of our listeners went above and beyond, sent me a couple links. The Jordan elephant print with the Jumpman.
Yeah.
They make a rangefinder case. So sent me the link for it, went on, bought one. So everybody out there that calls me out on my old rangefinder case, I have a new one coming in, and it's going to be on the bag soon. So
I love that you want a elephant print Jordan cover for your cool shot, yet you're still wearing your prescription shoes.
I was going to say my shoe game sucks. It's going to suck for a while. I work in the golf industry. It's going to take me a while to get on your level with. I mean, what is this? What do you have going on today?
These are the Waffle Racers. It was a collaboration between Stussy and, or as you call it in this country, Stussy, and Nike. So I've got two of them. I've got this pair, which is like the honey brown mustard color with the pink. Which goes perfectly with my t-shirt because I got pink on the back.
Oh, look at you.
And only people on YouTube will be able to see that, but I got up and did a bit of a twirl. And then they've got a lime green colorway with black, so I've got both of those. But
of course you do. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So I've got too many shoes. And if anyone truly wants to know about my shoe collection, I'm more than happy to share that with the listenership. You just comment below and let us know whether you actually want that or not. But
I've got my head cover collection. You have your shoe collection. I have spread the wealth and gotten you a couple of head covers, and yet I'm over here in my 65-plus-year-old man Brooks shoes. So
but you've been prescribed them. I don't want to go away from shoes you've been prescribed. It's for your health. That's what you tell me.
I can't say it was prescribed. I definitely drank the Kool-Aid and got sucked into a shoe fitting. Being a fitter, they were like, "Oh yeah, we do shoe fittings." I'm like, "I'm all in. Let's do a shoe fitting." And then lo and behold, I didn't get an On Cloud. I didn't get a Nike. I didn't even get something cool and flashy. No, they brought out basically like the orthotics and were like, "You are a train wreck.
Yeah.
Here is the thing with the most cushion that is going to help all the things that are broken in your body."
Yeah, but we can put you in much cooler things that are going to be cushiony for you. That's going to help with all the broken things in your body.
I'm in for it.
So Adidas does a great technology sole unit.
I have the dad bod. I'm in my 40s at this point.
Okay, you just don't have the kids. You've got the dad bod.
I have no kids.
So you're practicing.
We can't have kids.
Okay.
So kids are not on the table for us. But that's no excuse that I can't at least have a decent shoe game.
Okay. So let me help you out with that. I'll send you some
help.
links and we'll go from there.
I need help.
As I said, I just think it's funny that you're all in on the elephant print and blah, 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 yet you're wearing prescription shoes. Anywho.
My bag looks great.
Your bag looks great. Your footwear looks horrible. So
I'm not going to argue.
So really
That's
quickly, after talking about the cool shot, let's kind of go into what's new, what's coming, right? So we've seen some things happen over the last 48 hours. You've got that new Vokey wedge in your hand.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Kris? The new K, is it K Plus?
Yeah, it's a new K grind.
Yep.
And little spin on the traditional K grind. So K grind's been out for quite some time. In its infancy, it was a full sole, higher bounce option for that player that likes to play, the square face, full swing wedge shots. That needed a little bit of help with a full sole for softer turf conditions, somebody that was potentially a little steeper or really soft sand conditions, so on and so forth. Then they did a little twist on the K grind, did a low bounce K that Justin Thomas has in his bag, almost religiously every week. And now through WedgeWorks, Titleist is doing this guy, which still offers us a relatively full sole. Kind of appeals to that player that is somewhat neutral, sweeper, picker type of player. Also somebody that may potentially play in some soft turf conditions. But they've added a couple of additional grinds to this kind of full sole design. So this guy, we've got a much softer pre-worn leading edge. So for that player that does maybe have a tendency on chip shots, pitch shots, get a little bit of forward shaft lean, this is going to help prevent some of that digging. Also has some heel relief, some trailing edge relief. So for somebody that may want to manipulate the face of the wedge a little bit, but then still has that nice full sole on it for those soft turf conditions. And what? What are you laughing about?
What doesn't it do?
What doesn't it do? It does everything. I mean, this is
what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. This is just your Swiss Army knife of wedges.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can.
There's more.
But wait, there's more. And
in the hosel area, there's a hosel.
There is a hosel in the hosel area. Wouldn't you know it? This guy, I just received it from our friends at Titleist, and the aesthetics are awesome.
It does look really good. Like when you brought it in, I put it at address. It sits really, really great. I'm someone that likes to set my wedges up very square, but it looks really good. And looking at it like from the top down view, the sole is very wide. Like it's got a thick butt on it, but
thick with 2 C's.
There you go. But it's definitely at address it doesn't feel that way. Like at address you wouldn't think that there's any change in regards to how wide that sole is compared to other kind of wedges out there. I'd be really interested to see how that goes because I think I do play the regular K grind. So I do like to have that little bit of extra sole on there. I am a bit of a sweeper when it comes to my wedge play. So I'd really like to see how that works because, as I said, as you showed, that extra grind at the front really does promote it to feel like it's a low rider. Well,
I know of a guy that's got one.
Yeah.
And I also know of a place down at Talking Stick that has a fantastic short game area.
Yep.
And sounds like an opportunity for a little test.
Yeah.
And maybe a little video.
Love to test that out
and see how it goes against your current K grind. I right now have an M grind. So maybe we do a little compare contrast between what we're currently playing and this new K offering.
And it comes in what degrees? Does it come? I know that's a 60 degree. Does it come in 58 degree as well? Or is it just 60 degree?
So I'd have to go back and look at the press release. I know it's available just in the higher lofts. I don't know if they do a 58 and a 62.
Okay. Marky Mark, can you kind of just look at that real quick?
Yeah, we got 58 and 60 degree in right-handed only. Raw finish.
Okay. So all you lefties, I apologize.
They're used to it at this point.
Earmuffs. Yeah. Earmuffs.
I think they're used to just being discriminated against in the gear space.
Yeah.
But the raw finish, nice little touch.
Raw is great. I love it, especially when it starts rusting up. It's so good.
Yeah, gets that little patina to it. It's hard to do out here in the desert. I have friends of mine that literally will take their wedge heads and just soak them in the water and let them rust.
This is going to be the biggest flex, and I don't mean it to be a flex, but at the start of this year, I got a set of the MG4 TaylorMade wedges in raw, and my second round with them was at Pebble Beach. Oh. And so they just rusted up perfectly.
I was going to say they were rusting while you were playing with them.
So I was there on a golf trip, and we played Spanish Spy and Pebble, and
nice.
Throughout that entire time, I got home and my wedges were perfectly rusted up.
There you go.
So highly recommend that to anyone that gets a raw set of clubs. Go to Pebble for 3 days and they'll be fine.
I mean, that is quite the flex.
It is. I didn't mean to. I know it came off as a little bit douchey, but I promise you it wasn't.
Mark, where's that self-suck jar?
Yeah.
We need it for Wade. But I'm looking forward to trying this guy.
Yeah, I can't wait to give it a go, see what happens. So let's do that. Let's go down to Talking Stick and give it a schwack and see how that goes against current K grind.
It's going to be fun.
And then over the weekend when you played golf, you sent me a photo. It was quite funny. You sent me a couple of photos. You sent me a photo of the Heavenwood, and then you sent me a photo of your putter that had the Golf Pride reverse taper grip on it. So why don't you tell the audience about that reverse Pride golf taper grip that you were playing over the weekend that made you shoot +1?
What the hell did you just call it?
Reverse taper?
The reverse pride. What? Who's reversing what pride?
No one's reversing any pride.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
But my pride in you for saying this ad read is very high, sky high right now.
It's sky high.
It's a bloody tongue twister, okay? Leave me alone.
It is. I understand. With that accent, most things are a tongue twister.
How's it going?
Good God, we're off the rails. Reverse taper grip. Yeah, man. I got confirmation. Our grips are going to be here. They've shipped.
Let's go.
So you're going to get to test it. Mm-hmm. We're going to get to go through a grip fitting.
Okay.
And a little later in the episode, we're going to talk about a putter fitting experience that you just went through. But yeah, Golf Pride's reverse taper technology. So super cool tech. I've been kind of tinkering around with it, and I've got it on a putter of mine that I took out and played with over the weekend. And it's a Ping PLD, and through this grip on there.
Prime time?
Yes.
Prime time?
Yes, it's the PLD time.
Okay.
And it's been a great putter. And I had the PP58 Ping grip on there, swapped it out for the reverse taper, which has that slim upper hand and the larger lower hand, super tacky, and the dimple pattern throughout. It supports traction. My hands have a tendency to sweat a little bit, and especially when you're, got that $2 bet on a 4-foot putt, you get a little anxious over that guy.
Oh, we all know it.
But stabilizes both hands to ensure you're returning that face more square through impact. And from what I have noticed with it on those kind of intermediate putts, I can be a little more aggressive. And I like the fact that I do have a little bit more surface area underneath that low hand just to keep that grip pressure a little lighter.
Do you have a traditional grip, or do you do left hand low?
I'm kind of traditional, but I do have a dropped index finger.
Okay.
So I am definitely a hitter of the golf ball. You have a lot of people that are kind of rocking fluid type of strokes, and I am definitely someone that accelerates and creates a hit.
How does that grip feel with that kind of a stroke?
Oh, that's where I've struggled in the past. Is I'll have a tendency to get a little grabby and kind of shut that face down with the right index finger. So having that larger lower section in the reverse taper just is a little reminder to keep the grip pressure light. And as I create that hit, let the left hand lead. So it's a accelerate motion through the putt. Oh, I had good success with it. I like it. So I'm anxious for you to test it.
Yeah, I'm
anxious for you to try it. So, and if you want more information on that reverse taper or any of the Golf Pride offerings, make sure to visit golfpride.com to learn more.
Sounds good. So keeping on with the what's new, what's coming. So Scotty Cameron released a bit of a PR video on Instagram and probably other areas, but I saw it on Instagram. The new limited edition My Girl. It's going to be a Catalina shape. Looks really cool. I mean, the all of the etchings and all of that's not my vibe, but for collectors of putters and what have you, it looks pretty great. And they just had the Catalina in the B3 series earlier this year, so it's good that they're keeping on going down with the Catalina, because I know it's a pretty popular shape and hard to come by because it is face balanced.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to that coming out. Scotty Cameron always has their releases at the end of the year, and the My Girl one is, I know everyone is looking forward to it. And the thing I think is really cool about the My Girls is it's an annual drop this time of year, but it's a different look every year.
Every year. Different color scheme, different story.
If you put them side by side, you would have no idea they're all part of the same family of limited edition releases.
Yeah. And it's kind of a cool story. I mean, if you're not familiar with the history of it, that it's kind of a tribute to his girls. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's become a really, really popular launch. I mean, between the holiday collection and the My Girls, those are probably two of the legacy launches that Scotty's been doing ever since he's kind of gained popularity and burst onto the scene with his designs. Yeah, so be pretty cool. I mean, I don't know other outlets that are going to get it. I do know that Fairway Jockey is going to be getting an allotment of them. We get all the limited edition Scotties, so keep a lookout for a release date. We'll put something out there on Instagram and all the socials for Fairway Jockey, and our emailing list. We'll see what's going on as well. So
keep a lookout on Fairway Jockey if that's something that you want. But I'm excited for that to come out. I think it's going to be great. And then they've got their holiday release after that. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know when that's releasing. But that generally comes a few weeks after My Girl. So that's going to be really, really good.
I haven't seen the holiday collection either, but those are usually some of my favorites that come out of the holiday editions.
Yeah.
They've had some crazy, crazy cool designs over the years. So anxiously awaiting that one.
Yeah, this year's been interesting for them in regards to their limited edition because the B3 collection they had the Catalina in it, but it also had a long neck Newport.
Yeah.
And they haven't done a long neck for a minute.
Those are, I mean, there is a cult-like following for the long necks.
Yeah, and then they just did the Golo with the plumber's neck in it, which was like that bronzy gold colorway. It had kind of a really cool etching out on the face.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it. It just I've never really seen it before. And then they've got, as I said, the Catalina My Girl coming out soon, and then whatever the holiday is. But yeah, I'm interested to see what it is because they tend to be offering. What I've noticed is they tend to either this year they're offering something that's kind of old and bringing it back, or they're offering something that is generally available on tour and tour only. And part of the Circle T collection, like a Golo with a plumber's neck. So I have a Golo with a plumber's neck. I don't have this Golo with a plumber's neck, but I had a Golo 6 that was a face balance putter that I took to a mate of mine, Liam at Embrace Putters.
Sure.
And he actually jigs it up for me and put a plumber's neck on there for me.
Embrace does great work.
They do. He does. Liam does some really, really great work. He's got his own putter line and everything right now, and I'm not trying to talk it up, but I do have a couple of his putters, and they're fantastic.
We can give him a shout out. I mean, he's a local guy.
He's a local guy.
Embrace does awesome stuff.
He's a Pom. He's from the UK. Okay. Really good golfer too. Could have actually made it on the European tour. Grew up playing against like Rory and what have you, but decided to fall in love with an American instead and move over here and start a putter company up. Kind of just guy. Like me, but no putter company. But yeah. So, but anyway, I'm interested to see what that comes out with. I digress. I apologize. But yeah, I'm interested to see what that comes out with in regards to the holiday after the My Girl comes out. Also, just quickly want to talk about the Inside Golf membership. So Inside Golf, obviously, Golf has this Inside Golf membership where you can be a insider. So for $39.99, it really does afford you a lot of things. I know you've got the piece of paper in your hand. Can you reel off the things that the $39.99 gets you?
Yeah, absolutely. Best part about it for me is Archive Golf Magazine.
That's cool.
I love going back into the old issues of golf and kind of watching, almost like opening up a time capsule and seeing the evolution of gear and equipment and how much things have changed over the years. And also just kind of the trends and tendencies from, and you think about when Tiger came out on tour and he was playing a steel shafted driver.
Yeah.
And just absolutely taking a lash at it. And he played steel because of the weight and the stability and how far just composites alone have come. But with Inside Golf, you get $20 spend at Fairway Jockey.
Yep.
So never a bad thing there. Dozen free Shricks golf balls. And for $40 a year, access to the additional content that you get, a little peek behind the curtain at some of the extra content that we put on there just for members and subscribers. $40. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and you get special offers too. Like every now and then we might be working, or they might be working with a partner that's only sent out to the Inside Golf team members. Sorry, so join up. It's $40 for the year. Can do no, you know you're wrong. You get a free dozen Shricks on balls. You get $20 to spend at Fairway Jockey. What are you waiting for?
That's it. What else we got new that's coming out? Vessel has a new bag.
Yep.
The Player 5, or like you were kind of trying to call it, the Player V.
I only speak in Roman numerals for Rocky movies, okay?
That's perfectly acceptable. I will allow that.
Quick aside. What is your favorite Rocky movie?
I mean, if it's anything but Ivan Drago, you're wrong.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. It's got to be Drago. If he dies, he dies.
Rocky 3 for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Rocky 3 guy.
Yeah, there's just something about that Clubber Lang storyline.
I like it.
I love it.
You just pity the fool.
Yeah, it's not even that. He doesn't even use that line in that movie.
He should have. That's a missed opportunity, Mr. T.
He's got a better line in that movie. The Clever, what's your prediction for the fight? Prediction? Pain. That's the line from the movie from Mr. T. But
we got to tap in Mark. Mark, favorite Rocky movie, go.
If he dies, he dies.
There you go.
You're a Rocky 4 guy as well. All right. I will say this. Rocky 4 has the best storyline in it in regards to like theatrical storyline. It has the best training montage out of all of the Rockies.
100%.
But the emotional storyline within Rocky 3 for me about Rocky refinding and rediscovering himself after he loses his coach. Spoiler alert. Anyone that hasn't seen the Rocky movies, by the way.
Spoiler alert.
Mickey dies. I apologize. But yeah, it's to me, there's something about that movie. It's just schmick.
Okay, I could see that.
But I do love both. They're two of my favorite movies. Also, I have to fast forward when Apollo dies. Spoiler alert again in Rocky 4. And then I also have to fast forward the scene in the first Top Gun when Goose dies. They're two. For some reason, I have to fast forward through those sections of those movies.
You're just a softie.
Just for those two sections
Just
of those
for those
movies.
two, okay.
And if a dog dies in a movie, I can't handle it either.
Can't handle it. All right.
Anyway, we're talking about the Player 5.
Yeah, that was quite the segue
bad,
from
my bad, everybody.
from the Vessel Player V.
Are
you a Vessel guy?
I am. I do play a Vessel bag.
So
It's not the V.
It's not what?
It's not the 5.
It's not the 5. Not the 5. The Player series has been really, really cool. We have a partnership with Vessel for the TrueSpec bags. And that was where I got my kind of first exposure. I got a TrueSpec branded Vessel bag and put it in play. And I had previously been a big Ogio guy. And Ogio makes a great bag. Sun Mountain makes a great bag. There's some really quality bags out there. But getting this Vessel bag from TrueSpec, I was like, ooh, like, okay, this is some premium stuff we got going on here. And the layout of the bag, the material, the feel, the look, super, super cool. I mean, if you haven't had an opportunity to check out a Vessel bag, they are pretty awesome.
They are. I love my Vessel. They're great to travel with because of how good they are.
Definitely.
In regards to quality, they don't tear up, they don't scuff up too badly. I've got a white bag, so it's got a bit of scuffs on it, but super comfy to carry, not super heavy. The stand section hasn't broken out yet, and I've gone on 3 or 4 interstate golf trips, so I think they're great. I love as you said, the pocketing system in it is great. I love the magnet pocket that's inside of there. It's great.
Yeah,
bag
it's super
all in all.
cool.
Yeah, so everyone should go check out the Vessel Player 5. I think it's going to be a really, really good bag. I haven't looked at the specs of it yet. I don't know whether it's lighter or heavier than previous model, but they weren't that heavy to begin with. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I think it's a great bag.
I totally agree. I've got, I think at this point, because another little side note, Swag has a partnership with Vessel.
Okay.
So I think at this point I'm up to 6 Swag Vessel bags.
Okay.
All kinds of different designs and the quality in every one of them. I game all of them. So I take them all out on the golf course. I travel with them all over the country, beat the hell out of them, take them. I mean, how many thousands of miles a year do I travel?
A lot more than me.
And I haven't had any issues with any of them.
Yeah.
And it's been about 3 years now since I switched over to the Vessel bags. And I still have the original one that I've got. And great shape.
Yeah. The only other bag out there that I would say is like really does compete just because of how good it is the Ping Hoofer.
Ping Hoofer that is a warrior's bag.
Such a good bag, especially if you want to carry it and what have you. But the Vessel me's number one. I would say Ping Hoofer is probably out there.
For the player that likes to carry, last time I looked at it, that Ping Hoofer for anybody that carries is like far and away the most popular option. A lot of the collegiate teams, even if they're not a partner with Ping for a club deal, still elect to use the Hoofer bag for the team bags.
Makes sense. And speaking of Ping, we were just there. And you had an opportunity, like we just talked about when we were talking about our friends at Golf Pride. Had a chance to go through their putter fitting. I did. It was really cool, man. I got to do that with Alex, who's one of their master putter fitters over there. Is he? I think is he also an engineer for them as well, Marky Mark? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember either. But he was so knowledgeable across the board along not only ping putters, but just putters in general. Yeah. Different weights, different dimensions, different neck types, shapes, milling, all of that. It was really, really cool. I liked the way they did their fitting style, which was more about consistency metrics versus roll and what have you. Because I think the way they look at it is if you do have consistency in these areas, then your roll should be good. I was speaking to Alex after we finished. One of the things that he said that he likes to do is, because at the proving grounds they do have a whole like outside putting green bunker area, what have you. He does like to take people out there and bend to the specifications that he likes, to the length or what have you, and you can go out there and play. And he can make some adjustments from there. So we didn't get to do that. Hopefully, when I go pick up the putter, we'll be able to kind of do that as well. But I really enjoyed it. I got a plus 3.5 on my consistency score with the putter that I ended up with, but that came down to a plus 3.1 because we removed one of the bad strokes and then did another one, and it kind of was weird that it brought it down, but it did. It doesn't really matter. But so. All of my thoughts about my putting is correct. My stroke is very consistent and good.
Good.
My green reading is toilet. So that is what I've got to get better at, is green reading.
Did you get your projected putting index?
Plus 3.1.
Plus 3.1.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah, so it was really good. When I started, but with my gamer that I have right now, it was plus 1.9.
Okay.
And then we saw a big improvement there. One of the big things that we noticed was I'm playing a face balance putter right now, just because I do like the look of that straight in vibe. I do have a strong to moderate arc, so he was like, "Let's put you in." He put me into a plumber's neck to help with that rotation. And then the other thing was I was playing a longer counterbalance putter.
Okay, and
from that, it was working great. A plus 0.19 isn't bad.
No, not at all.
But essentially he was saying, for some reason when I had that in my hand, whether that was because I had the 40-gram weight in the butt or because it was longer, I was adding way too much dynamic loft to the club head, to the club at impact. And then once we went back to like a 33.5, 34-inch putter, that dynamic loft went away. So that was one of the reasons why my consistency score went up so hard, was because I was much more square at impact in regards to loft wise on the ball.
So just presenting a better dynamic loft through impact.
Yeah.
So got it. And that, I'm sure, it kind of had a ripple effect with stabilizing the amount of skid that you were seeing, improving distance control, keeping the putt more online for 100%. Longer.
Yep.
And
so all of that.
Did he get into the weeds with you too much about shape and optics and things like that?
Yeah, we went into it with shape. We've come to the conclusion that I love a mid mallet.
Okay.
We didn't really go away from. He brought out a couple of putters for me to try, like the Tyne and what have you. But when he asked me, he's like, how do you feel when you look down at a mallet? And basically I said, I feel like I can't have an imagination with it.
Okay.
I can't manipulate it if I want to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%.
And so he was like, I'm not even going to bother with it then. So it was between the... Marky Mark, do you want me to tell people what I got into? I know you want to release the video. Do you want me to keep that as a surprise, or do you want me to talk through that?
Let's keep them waiting.
Keep them waiting?
Keep them waiting.
Apologize, guys. I'm going to stop right here because Marky Mark said so.
Coach has spoken.
Coach has spoken. Did your team play on the weekend? It's high school that you coach?
Yeah, it's actually I get to go make cuts tonight. You know, always the fun times.
So how many people do you have to cut?
I think it's around 13.
13. Ooh. So when I played ball, I was a point guard. I wore number 7. If you want to get me one of your jerseys with a number 7 on it, I'm more than happy to rock that for you.
Maybe some other kind of gear, but I don't think I can be taking jerseys out.
Why? Just do it. Just put it in your pocket. Yeah. No one will know.
Be a champion.
Anywho, so yeah, we did go through all of that. We did go through shapes. The shape that I landed on was a It's not a new shape. It was. I think it's newish to the PLD custom family.
Okay.
But it felt great. I really liked it, and I'm really excited to get it so I can put it in the bag and see what it does.
I like the approach that you were talking about that Alex has, where you gather all the data and do all of the initial adjustments in a vacuum in a laboratory type setting where you can control all the variables. But the secondary part of that, confirmation on the putting green. So are you familiar, and I can go way down the rabbit hole with this. Ever heard parallax distortion?
Absolutely not.
Perfect. So essentially it is the player's interpretation of their environment and how they will subconsciously start to adjust to external linear influences. So when you get into a laboratory type setting and everything is square, the surface that you're on is square, there is rails and alignment aids and things that influence how it is that you set up in relationship to your target. So you'll see this a lot. It's actually pretty common. You'll see this a lot in a indoor fitting environment. So you'll have a square screen and a square turf that you're hitting off of, and it just everything is square, 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 square. So I mean, a lot of times you'll get players that I hit a draw on the golf course, but everything I'm hitting in here fades. Listen to that feedback. And same kind of thing in a putting environment, you have all of these external linear influences that start to manipulate things. So you may see something that works in an indoor environment, you take it outside, and now how it is that you go through your natural pre-shot routine, you start seeing something different. So it's great that they do everything in a vacuum to get you basically almost to the finish line and then take it outside to validate it. Super cool.
Yeah, that's probably the most exciting part for me. I found that when I do go through a putter fitting, to your point, everything is so stable and not, to me, when I say not real, like it's not real because you're on a perfect mat.
Yeah.
Right. There's always a little groove, so everything goes dead straight.
Sure.
So you're like, heck yeah, how am I hitting this straight every single time? This putter is amazing. It's when you get out and the variables come into play. A straight putt in real life is one of the hardest things to hit on a golf course.
Absolutely is.
And so...
Look at The Price is Right. How many people miss that putt?
Right. A lot.
A lot.
So I'm excited to do that. I'm just excited to get out on the course. I really loved the look and feel of what I got fit into. I'm excited to play something a little bit shorter again just to see how it feels. But ultimately, if it's not working, I can always go back and forth and I can always extend it or what have you. So... But yeah, and then so we got to hit some of the new product as well that's coming out. So everything I did on that putter fitting, none of that is new. Everything is available now. So I think Mark, you're going to release that video pretty soon, right?
Yeah, nothing embargoed there. We can get that one out here shortly.
Yeah, so we're probably going to release that video soon, so you won't have to wait too long to see what I got fit into. And when I get it, I'll do an unboxing as well, so everyone can see what it is.
Everything I did has to wait till January.
Everything you did has to wait till January. I got to hit everything as well, but I didn't do what you did, which was go through a full fitting with James.
It was more of a product test just for time's sake. I mean, if we would have gone through a full fitting, it would have been 3+ hours. So it was more just kind of a product test. And the reason that I want to preface that as a product test versus a fitting, I hit some horrible shots. Like when you got your kind of driver dialed in, and Wade was so excited about this driver, absolutely hitting frozen ropes with it, just bombing this thing, comes over to me all excited and goes, "You got to hit this thing." And I took my first swing with it and hit it about 30 feet off the ground with about 1,200 RPMs of spin, even though our club head speed was almost identical.
It quacked and went hard left.
Yeah. She gone quick. And I just turned around and looked at him and I don't think that one's for me.
Yeah. No, I loved what I hit. The sound was incredible.
Big improvement.
Sound was incredible.
And they even talked about that a little bit, that they have sound engineers.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about all of the little details and nuances that go into saving a gram here, using different materials here, shaping and face thickness and all that stuff. And then something that gets overlooked is we have this fantastic golf club and it performs off the charts, just beats the hell out of everything they've done historically. Oh, but it sounds terrible.
Yeah. So obviously we can't like say too much about what we got to partake in, but it felt like a very good improvement over previous model.
We were both in agreement that acoustically, big improvement, sounded solid, and ball flight stability and consistency was definitely improved.
So
stoked for this launch.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. And honestly, I can't wait to start hitting all the other stuff too, so I can start in my head gathering what's coming. A, so I can start understanding what I'm going to play for next year. But B, it's just 2024 was such a good year.
Oh yeah,
especially for driver.
Like
it was this is the first year in a long time where you can turn around and say it was a leap.
I mean, we kind of dubbed it the year of the driver.
Yeah. So,
and in a fitting environment, we had so many options, and everything was good.
Yep.
And you had, I mean, at the end of the day, you had 2 or 3 heads that would work for almost any given player.
And then it just turned into a preference.
Yeah. All of the metrics were relatively close, and you get to be really picky on start direction. You get to be really picky on sound. You get to be really picky on optics. And that's a really cool environment to be in.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to go backwards for 25.
I don't think so either, but just that leap. So I'm really interested to see what the other companies bring out to see if they leap forward or if it's a step forward.
I think what we're going to see is a lot of improvement on these solid designs. And I mean, since the governing bodies in golf have basically limited everything with COR and with sizing and just a lot of the actual design features of a driver, they basically have their handcuffs on. But now you're going to see a big push for moving that weight around and continuing to sustain, launch, speed, spin over a larger hitting area or surface area of the actual driver. And when we wrap up this pod, I'm actually jumping on a plane and heading over to Carlsbad, going to see our friends at Cobra.
It's going back to Cali.
That's exactly where we're going. Carlsbad, Disneyland for golfers, and Mike Yagley, who listens to our pod, give him a shout out, and going to come see you here in a couple hours. So looking forward to that for sure.
That's awesome. So yeah, we probably should wrap it up, seeing that you've got to get on a plane very, very soon.
Hey
Indeed.
guys, before we wrap it up, I got a bit of surprise for you.
Oh, look out.
Do tell.
We do want to let everyone know the fully equipped hotline is back.
Oh,
five.
Not
Same
exactly.
combination I have on my luggage.
But we do have an updated number. If you want to call in and leave a message for Wade and Kris that I will sort through and pick the best questions for the show, you can now do that at 480-442-1168. That's 480-442-1168. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Nice.
Me too. I mean, I honestly, I'm kind of excited for that. That'll be really, really cool.
The hotline questions are some of my favorites, as they you never know what you're going to get.
Yep.
Especially with however Mark is feeling that particular day. If you're not going to leave us a message on the hotline, make sure and check us out on X at @fully_equipped. Also on Instagram at @fully_equipped_golf.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I have to have it in front of me now because I have this Charles Barkley-like mental block when it comes to our social handles. So, Mark, you are just a huckleberry of a fella for actually putting this on paper for my special needs.
I feel like next time, Mark, you should do like a few different ones to see which ones he chooses, to see which one's the right one.
You're a monster.
But
you
it was
just
great.
like to watch the world.
It was
burn.
great to get through that in one take. But yeah, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, guys, always a fun time chatting. Kris, always love spending this hour or so with you chatting golf.
For sure.
Have
It's
a
always
safe
fun
trip.
to hang out with Mark, and then, seeing you, I guess, is okay.
Yeah.
But,
But have a safe trip. Say good day to all the guys at Cobra for us.
Will do.
And yeah, fly safe. And I will see you when you get back.
Perfect.
All
And
right.
with that, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.